Good morning everyone and welcome back to my Read Along channel. We are going to read the next chapter of the Dare Game Tracy Beaker is Back by Jaqueline Wilson today. That is called The Tree Home and it's on page 137. This is Jaqueline Wilson's own work. I'm just reading it for entertainment and pleasure. I've also had a little look onwards. It's a little bit of a longer chapter today, so sit tight and get comfortable and enjoy the chapter. Let's go. The Tree Home. I got a bit miffed when I was back at home. Football and Alexander were there already, playing football. Well, football did the kicking. Maybe Alexander was meant to be the goalie. He seemed to be acting as a goalpost too. I didn't think they'd have any right to be there. Well, not before me. I flounced back to the kitchen. Alexander had supplied the cardboard refrigerator with a packet of Jaffa cakes. I felt this was extra mean as not very keen on the orange. I ate 3 even so, just to show him I wanted a drink, but there was just a silly cardboard cutout kettle. I scrambled it up. What sort of idiot was he? It took me a long time to get the size equal and the spout right, Alexander said reproachfully, standing in the kitchen doorway. Never mind your silly bits of cardboard. Hey, you'll never ever guess what. What, said Alexander. I'm going to live with my mum. Are you, said Alexander, as if I'm going to help myself to another Jaffa cake. What do you mean, are you? That's a bit of a limpy-wimpy response. Why aren't you like, wow, Tracy, you're lucky, how fantastic, super-duper, mega-wizzo, brilliant. Alexander stood to attention. Wow, Tracy, you lucky thing, he said obediently. Then he paused. What else was it? He was acting like he didn't think I was the luckiest kid in the whole world. Look, you haven't seen my mum. I wished I had a photo to show him. She looks totally fantastic. She's really, really beautiful. And she wears these wonderful clothes and her hair and makeup are perfect. And she made me up too and styled my hair and I looked incredible. There was a very rude snort from the living room where Football was obviously flapping his ears, listening to every word. I marched in to confront him, Alexander shuffling at me. Football dodged back and shielded his face, pretending to be dazzled. Here's Tracy, the incredible beauty, he said, fooling about. I gave him an extra withering look. You can't scoffle like you all you like, but maybe I'll take after my mum and end up looking just like her, I said. And maybe that's a little fat piggy flying through the air, said Football. Alexander's head turned, mouth open, looking for the flying pig. My mum's given me all these presents too, I said. Heaps and heaps. Whoops, there's a whole herd of piggies flying past, said Football. Alexander blinked and then got it all last and chortled loudly. It's true. She spent a fortune on me. She's given me everything I could ever want. What, the computer and the rollerblades and the mountain bike, said Football, starting to look impressed at the long list. I hesitated. She's given me all those later when I'm living with her. Aha, said Football. But she's already given me this new t-shirt. Look, it's designer. None of your market copy rubbish either. Look at the label. Cool, said Football. And she gave me this enormous box of chocolates so I couldn't possibly eat them all. Well, maybe you could pop them in your fridge, said Alexander, still giggling weakly. We're a bit short on the provisions at the moment. Yeah, well, they're fresh cream, and when I got Yeah, well, they're fresh cream, and when I got them back to Cam, they'd gone a bit funny tasting, so we had to throw them out. But I've still got the box. I'll show you it if you don't believe me, Football. And my mum gave me heaps of other stuff too, and most fantastic cuddly toys and special collector's doll, an actual modern antique that cost hundreds of pounds. A doll, said Football. Well, it's more like a giant ornament, I tell you. It's simply beautiful. My mum's the greatest mum in the whole world. Alexander was looking serious again, his eyes beady. What, I said. She can't really be the best mum, not if she left you, he said. I think if you leave your little girl, it makes you a bad mum. He couldn't help it, I said quickly. She couldn't help it, I said quickly. It was just the way things were. She had things to do, and she had a really gross boyfriend. She didn't have any option. She thought I'd be fine in the children's home. I thought you hated it, said Alexander. He was really starting to get on my nerves. I got along okay, I said fiercely. Not until... Sorry, I just hit my elbow. Blooper. I thought you hated it, said Alexander. He was starting to get on my nerves. I got along okay, I said fiercely. Not till Cam came along, Alexander persisted. What about Cam, Tracy? What about her, I said, sticking my face into his and baring my teeth. I was very nearly tempted to bite. My mum says she can't really care about me. She's fostering me for the money. You can't be easy to foster, Tracy, said Alexander, backing away from me, but he still wouldn't shut up. I think she's fostering you because she likes you. Don't you like her? She's all right, I said awkwardly. Anyway, she can like me all she wants. She can't like me all that much, or she'd fight harder to keep me, wouldn't she? Alexander deliberated. Maybe she's just trying to fit in with what you want because she likes you lots and lots. Maybe you should just shut up and mind your own business, I said. What do you know anyway? Alexander was totally tiny gherkin. I gave him a push and waved at football. Come on, let's play footy then. I'll give you a real game. Football stopped staring and sprang into action. He passed the ball to me and I kicked it so hard it bounced back off the opposite wall, hit the sofa and then ricocheted straight into the television set. That's the second television gone for a Burton, and it takes ages to make, Alexander wailed. You and your stupid cardboard rubbish. Let's clear it all out the way, I said, giving the crumpled cardboard another kick for good measure. Alexander looked as if he wasn't about to cry. I don't know why, I wasn't kicking him, but when football caught on and got ready for the major wreck the joint, I diverted him up the stairs where it wouldn't matter so much. Alexander hadn't attempted any interior design, but there were old boxes to kick and bits of filthy old mattresses to jump on. Alexander came trailing upstairs after us and stood anxiously in the doorway, not daring to join in. I felt mean, but I still couldn't forgive him for being so obstinate about my mum. Football went into major demolition mode for a minute or two, and then decided to take a rest. You think it's great I'm going to for my mum, don't you, Football? I said. Hey, don't lie on the mattress, you'll get fleas. Yuck, said Football, leaping up again. Yeah, I think it's good about your mum, seeing as she's going to be giving you all presents. You've got to look out for number one, Tracy. Go for what you can get, and the one who'll give you the most. He kicked his ball against the wall and then jumped up and headed it expertly back again. Wow, did you see that? He waved his arms in the air, showing off like mad. It's not just the presents and stuff, I said. It's because she's my mum. Mum's rubbish, said Football. You wouldn't say that about Dad. Yes, I would, said Football, and this time he kicked the ball so dementedly it veered off the wall and smashed the opposite window and disappeared out of sight. Whoops, said Football. I think maybe that's enough wrecking, I said. Watch that broken glass, Football, said Alexander. You'll cut yourself. What are you doing, Natter? I said, as Football opened the window, spraying more glass all over the place. We need a dustpan and brush, said Alexander. Maybe I can devise something out of cardboard. You and your daft bits of cardboard, I said. Hey, Football, what are you doing now? Football's climbing out the window. I'm getting my ball back, said Football, peering out. It hasn't come down. It's stuck off the guttering. Look. Football, get back. It's terribly dangerous. Football, not the drain pipe. You're far too big. Don't. Football did. He reached for the drain pipe. It wobbled and then it started to buckle. Football let go sharpish. Get back in, Football, I said, clawing at his ankles. He kicked my hands hard and then leapt. I screamed and shut my eyes. I waited for the crash and thump, but there wasn't one. Alexander was making a little gaspy noise beside me. Look at him, he whispered. I opened my eyes and stared in disbelief. Football had leapt across the sickening gap into the fur that grew up against the wall. He made a loud, triumphant Tarzan noises. You crazy? No, I'm not. Haven't you ever climbed a tree? And this one's a little piece of cake, just like going up a ladder. Football climbed up steadily while we craned our necks, watching. Alexander gripped my hand tight, his sharp little nails digging into my palm. Football very nearly reached out and clawed his ball back from the guttering. Yuck, it's got all gummed over it, he said, wiping it on the tree branches. Just come back down, you nutter, I yelled. I'll wash it for you, Football, Alexander offered. Please just come back. So Football climbed down again, threw the ball back in the broken window, leant over the dizzying drop, leapt for it, teetered on the window ledge, and then came crashing into the bedroom on top of us. For a moment, we were all too stunned to say anything. Football got up first. Alexander and I didn't have any options, seeing as he was on top of us. Dad's rubbish, Football said, dusting himself down and wiping the gungy ball on Alexander's jersey. Smelly, smouldering, putrid rubbish. It was like there'd been no break in the conversation whatsoever. But what about your dad, I said, getting up gingerly and wagging my arms and legs to make sure they weren't broken. That's what I was, nuts, said Football. That's your new nickname for me, isn't it, Nutter? Nutter. Alexander sat up and looked at his stained jumper. It's my school one, he said in a very little voice. Then he swallowed hard. Still, it doesn't really matter, seeing as I hardly ever go to school now. Oh dear, have I spoilt your school jersey, said Football. I'm terribly sorry, Alexander, old chum. Alexander chose to take him seriously. That's quite right, Football, he said. He got up cautiously, as if there was every chance he might be knocked down again. What happened with your dad, Football? I held my breath. You shut up, useless, said Football, but he simply bounced his ball on Alexander's head. Didn't your dad take you to a match on Saturday, I asked. Football suddenly sat back himself, his back against the wall. He looked down at the bare floorboards. He didn't even bounce his ball. I waited and waited and waited, and he mumbled, but he never turned up. Football thought there was something wrong, like his dad was ill or in trouble, so he went round his place, only there was no one there. He sat on the steps outside his flat and waited for ages. Then when his dad eventually turned up, he had his girlfriend with him, and he was slobbering all over her like she was an ice lolly. Football looked like he was going to be sick when he told us, and it got worse. It turned out his dad had taken the girlfriend to the match instead of Football because she got this thing about the goalie's legs. They both laughed like it was really cute and funny and had no idea what they were doing to Football. He made out he didn't care. He said he was getting a bit sick of their football Saturdays anyway, and his dad got shirty then and said, right, if that's your attitude. So Football pushed off, and then when he got back home, his mum saw he was upset, but it just made her mad, and she slagged off his dad all over again. So I called her all these names and said it was no wonder Dad left home because she's such a whiny misery. Then she clumped me and cried, and now she's not talking to me. So they both hate me, my mum and my dad. So they're rubbish, right? All mums and dads are rubbish. He stopped. We seemed to have stopped too. The house was very quiet. It was chilly with the window broken. I shivered. It doesn't necessarily follow that all mums and dads are rubbish, said Alexander. There are some silences that shouldn't be broken. Football bounced his ball at Alexander's head again, hard. I don't really like it when you do that, Football, Alexander said, blinking. Good, said Football. He bounced his ball again. It was unfortunate for Alexander that Football has deadly accurate aim. Tracy, Alexander said, a tear rolling down his cheek. I felt like there were two Tracys. One wanted to put her arm around him and wipe his eyes and yell at Football to go and pick on someone his own size, and the other wanted to bounce a ball on his brainy little bonce too. The Tracy twins argued it out. Guess which one won? You're such a wimp, Alexander. Why can't you stick up for yourself? You daren't do anything. Alexander drooped. I did do that dare, he said, even though it meant the whole school called me names. What dare? Said Football, still bouncing. I'm Tracy Beaker, the great inventor of extremely outrageous dares, I said proudly. Like, said Football, catching the ball. Like anything, I said. So dare me, said Football, swaggering. I let half a dozen ideas flicker in my head. None of them seemed quite suitable for Football. I squeezed my brain hard. I needed something suitably scary, rude and revolting. Alexander seemed to think I needed help. Tracy dared wave her knickers in the air, he announced. Shut up, Alexander, I hissed. Football grinned. Okay, Tracy, I dare you to wave your knickers. Go on. Get lost, I said. And anyway, you can't copy my dare. All right, I'll think of a better one. Football was grinning from ear to ear now. I dare you take your knickers off and hang them off on the fir tree like a Christmas decoration. I stared at him. It wasn't fair. It was brilliant dare. Definitely Tracy Beaker standard. Oh, how I wanted to zip his grin up. You can't ask Tracy to do that, said Alexander. It's far too dangerous. I climbed out into the tree, said Football. Yes, but you're bigger and stronger than Tracy, said Alexander, and madder, he added softly. There isn't anyone madder than me, I said. Okay, I'll do your stupid dare, Football. Easy peasy. Tracy, said Alexander. He looked at me and looked at Football. Is this just a game? It's my game, my dare game, I said, only it's way too daring for you, little gherkin. Gherkin, said Football. One of them wizen little pickle things. Alexander gets called Gherkin because everyone's seen what he looks like in the showers. Football cracked up laughing. Gherkin, that's a good one. Gherkin. Alexander looked at me, his eyes huge and pinched face. Why are you being so mean to me, Tracy? You're mean to me, trying to stop me living happily ever after with my mum when it's what I've always wanted more than anything in the whole world, I said. And I marched to the window, kicking the broken glass out of the way, and hitched myself up onto the window ledge. Tracy, don't! What if you fall? Alexander shrieked. I hooked one leg out. Tracy, I wasn't serious. You're too little, Football shouted. I'm not little. I'm Tracy the Great, and I always win every single dare, I yelled, getting the other leg out and standing up straightish. My legs are a bit wobbly. I looked down and then I wished I hadn't. Come back, Tracy, said Alexander, but I couldn't go back. I had to go forward. This is the dare game and I'm going to win it. Just you wait and see. I looked up at the tree and jumped. 1 second I was in the air and there were screams, some mine, and then I had twigs up my nose and scratching my face, and I was clinging there in the tree, hands hanging onto branches, feet curled against the trunk. I made it. I hadn't fallen. I had managed a thrilling, death-defying leap. Football gave his Tarzan cry behind me, and I joined in too, long and loud. Now come back in, Tracy, Alexander pleaded. I haven't started yet, I said. Shut your eyes, and you, Football. They both blinked at me like they'd forgotten the whole point of the dare. I've got to take my knickers off now, so no peeping, I commanded. They shut their eyes obediently. Well, one of them did. Football, think I'm daft? Stop squinting at me, I yelled. Football's eyes shut properly this time, and I gingerly let go of the branch and started fidgeting under my skirt. It was a lot more scary, only holding on with one hand. It would have been much more sensible to take my knickers off before I was in the tree, but it was too late now. I got them around my knees, and when I reached them down, the garden wavered away below me, and I felt sick. Don't, Tracy, you'll fall, Football shouted. Shut your beep eyes. I was so peeved he was peering right at my short skirt I forgot to be frightened. I eased my knickers over my foot and then straightened up in a flash. They're off, I yelled, waving them like a flag. Football cheered. Shove them on a branch for a second and get back in, he shouted. You won the bet, Trace. Good for you. Yes, come back now, Tracy, said Alexander. I didn't want to come back right that instant. I was starting to get used to it in the tree. I looked up instead of down. It was a great feeling to be up so high. I reached for the next branch and the next and the next. The boys yelled at me, but I took no notice. I turned into Monkey Girl, leaping about the treetops without a worry in the world. The tree swayed a little more as I got nearer to the top, but I didn't mind a bit. It felt soothing, not scary. If I was Monkey Girl, I could swing in my tree all day long, and at night I could fashion myself a leafy hammock and rock myself to sleep. I started to think seriously about a tree house. I could get Alexander to design it, not one of his cardboard concoctions, a proper planks of wood job. Football and I could knock it together and somehow secure it to the tree. Yes, a tree house would be absolutely amazing. I could furnish it with blankets and cushions and have heaps of provisions, and I could live up there all the time and spy on my enemies, and everyone would talk in awed tones about Tracy of the treetops. I decided to make a start on the treehouse idea for real, but then I remembered I was going to live with my mum any minute now, so there wasn't any point, and I got a bit distracted and slipped. I scrambled and grabbed the next branch down, hanging on for dear life, or lousy life, any kind of life. Watch out, Tracy. Tracy, come back. You're the nutter now. My heart was hammering and my hands were slipping with sweat, but I thought I'd wind them up just a little bit more. I climbed higher, up and up, branch after branch, head over hand, foot after foot, concentrating fiercely now. I climbed until I was fast running out of tree, the branches becoming so delicate and spindly that some broke right off when I took hold of them. But I dared to go even higher so that I could just about reach up to the very top. I hooked my knickers round and attached them to the tip like a big white star. I saw the stars too, the whole galaxy of constellations shining, sparkling in celebration. I'd done it, the most daring dare I'd ever done it. Then I climbed all the way down, feeling my way with my feet, and down until at long last I came level with the window, and there were Football and Alexander gazing out at me, open-mouthed as if an angel swooping straight down from heaven. Out of the way then, you gawpers, I commanded, and they drew apart like curtains. I got ready to spring. I made it right through the window. I didn't even fall over. I landed on my feet. Tracy, the fabulous cat girl, with all her 9 lives still in front of her. How about that, I said, and I did this crazy dance around the room. Football danced with me, leaping about, clapping me on the back. You're the greatest, kid, knickers off and all. Yeah, and I'm the greatest, aren't I, Alexander? You're the maddest, said Alexander. I'm a total jelly with watching you. Look, I'm still shaking. Gherkin jelly, yuck, I said. You're mad. You're both mad, said Alexander. Can't you see you have been killed? You could have been killed. It doesn't make you the greatest. No, you're the greatest, meanest bore ever, I said, poking him. How dare he try to spoil my stupendous achievement? She is the greatest, and so am I, said Football, poking him too. Stop poking me, said Alexander, hunching up small. You're not the great. You're not just because you take stupid risks and nearly kill yourself. I was starting to feel like killing Alexander. He was acting like this irritating little gnat, nipping away at my ankles. Any second now I'd stick out my hand and go swat. Don't make me really mad, Alexander, I warned him, giving him another poke. You've already mad at me for saying all that stuff about your mum. That's why you keep picking on me. That's nothing to do with it, I said fiercely. I'm mad at you because you're mad and in. No wonder they pick on you at school, Football jeered. No wonder even your own dad can't stand you. He didn't touch him this time, but somehow it was worse than a poke. I wavered just a tiny meeny bit. Well, he must like him, really. No, he doesn't, said Alexander, big tears were rolling down his cheeks. He can't stand me. I felt so mean that it made me even angrier with him. That's rubbish. Don't be so stupid. I gave him a sudden push. You're really starting to irritate me now. You've always irritated me, Gherkin, said Football. Don't call me that, Alexander said, sniffing. Gherkin, 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 Football chanted. Wizened little Gherkin who can't play the dare game. I did it. I did do a dare, didn't I, Tracy? Yeah, you were mad enough to tell the whole school to call you Gherkin. Stop it. Gherkin, 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 I yelled, right in his face. Football was right beside me. You clear off, Gherkin. This is our house, he said. I was here first, Alexander wept. But we're here now, I said, and we don't want you, do we, Trace? I couldn't be quite that mean. There was still a bit of me that wanted to put my arms around Alexander and give him a hug. Alexander saw me wavering. He gave a great giant sniff. I'll do another dare if you let me stay. Okay then, climb up the tree and fetch Tracy's knickers back, said Football quick as a wink. No, I said. Yes, said Football. All right, said Alexander, don't be crazy, I said, suddenly scared. It was like everything was spinning too fast and I couldn't stop it. Football, please, you can't dare him to do that. I did it, said Football, and you did it too, even though you're little and only a girl. I'll do it, said Alexander. I still think it's mad, and I'll probably get killed, but I don't care. I'll still do it. I'll show you. He ran to the window. You mustn't, Alexander. I ran after him, but he was surprisingly fast. You can't climb, you can't balance, you can't do anything, you'll fall. I told you I don't care, said Alexander, and he tried to jump up the window ledge. He mistimed it completely and banged his nose hard on the window frame. See, Alexander, now you're the one who's being stupid, I said, rushing to him. He shook his head, stunned, his nose crimson. Football, take the dare back quick, I said. Okay, I take the dare back, Gherkin, said Football. I'll still do the dare if you promise never to ever call me Gherkin again, said Alexander, his voice muffled because his hands were cupping his sore nose. You're not doing any dare. You're right where you're right. We were all crazy. You told me to go away, said Alexander, turning to the window. I didn't mean it, I said. You're my friend, Alexander. I like you. Football likes you too. No, I don't, said Football. You do, I insisted. No one likes me, not really, said Alexander. And he made another dash for the window, a sudden quick dart that took us by surprise. He jumped high enough this time. He made the window ledge, but he didn't stop. He swooped right out into space like a little animal, like a little cartoon animal running in midair. But Alexander was real. He didn't give a yelp, a pedal backwards. He plummeted down into the dark garden below. And that is where we're going to stop, guys. That is the next chapter all read. It was slightly longer than usual, but the next chapter will be called The Garden Home, which is on page 165. As always, thank you so much for listening. Until the next time, guys, goodbye.